Alright, hello and welcome. We are back. So today, we're picking up right in the middle of an intense situation as we were trying to get a little bit of rest after encountering several very dastardly beings inside of this um, temple kind of thing to Asmodeus. We just kind of tried to lure out the amorphous ghoul who likes shinies. But apparently we were just a little too loud for it, and it caught on to us as it crept back into its tiny little crevice that it has been staying, with some of the gold trail with it gone. After kind of waiting a good while, realized that it knows that we're trying to lure it or something in that regard. We gave up on the trying to lure it out and then decided to go ahead and try to rest. Put up a little magical dome of force to try to get cozy, try to get a night's rest. Through our watch rotation, we were on the third watch, which was Lumos. Lumo heard the scraping of metal on metal, which, as he can now infer, is the large mechanical door that is at the end of the hallway. And it was just a little bit later, he heard someone call out, basically saying, "What the hell is going on here?" And then that dome of that protective barrier around him dissipated, and that's where we left off. Was right in the middle of holy crap, the dome's gone, and everybody's sleeping but Lumo. But we still need to start off with checking to see, did anyone hear and is stirred by the sound of this other guy talking. So, I need perception checks from everyone but Lumo to see if you heard that. All right, Bijou is the only one who is stirred, perhaps even by the connection to the barrier, just the change in atmosphere, the comfortable, inviting warmth that she can control with inside of her own bubble, now gone. That alone is enough to kind of bring her to a shocking moment of some consciousness. So, with that, I need everyone to roll initiative.
I'm going to redo that.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Excellent.
Much better.
Excellent. Primo change.
We doubled it on the initial.
All right, and with that,
All right, I roll over and I shake Izzy and I say, "There's something wrong." Because I just woke up, so I don't know what's going on. Does that wake me up?
let me check. Okay, go ahead and roll another perception check, Izzy.
And Bijou, you have dark vision, so you can probably see what's happening, but
Yeah, but I still just woke up, so you know.
a little bleary-eyed.
Yeah.
I just got off my watch, so I'm just like.
It's enough to begin stirring, but you will, for this round, consider to still be unconscious. Next round, you'll be awake.
Okay.
Does that take my action?
Yeah, to shake. It takes your action to try to shake someone awake.
All right, so I'm gonna crawl over here to car, I guess.
Do I get to roll perception to see if our waking up Izzy woke me up?
I know. I think our perceptions is whether or not you were awake on this round, and then it took the action for her to get to try to
Okay.
wake this round. Whoa! Why the hell are they so big?
He must have made the encounter before he put the grid on there.
No, I literally just did that yesterday.
Oh yeah, right. Right. Hmm.
That's weird. Anyway, they're not giants.
That's good.
What you see, Bijou, is at the hallway. You see a robed figure who was just kind of ending arcane motions with his hands, and two people that look a whole hell of a lot like Lumo.
I mean, I appreciate that, but I can't see that far in dark vision.
I have 60 feet.
For 60 feet from me is further than that.
Yeah, they're 65 feet away from me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will then. Then no, you don't see. Just looking at. Yeah, their devil sight's just a lot better than regular dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now where did that go? Okay, so, well, roll a perception check to see, Bijou, to see if you hear the next thing. Okay, no, you can't.
I'm sleepy.
You know something is off. The barrier is gone, and Lumo is at high alert. But yeah, without any other perceptions, you really have no idea what's going on. I think this will change things.
Am I awake enough that I can use any of my abilities?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
No. So, what is utter darkness, Bijou, erupts in a burst of light as you see what looks like a torch in the distance for just a brief moment, and as you kind of blink, that torch is instead a giant ball of fire that is crashing into the middle of your group. Now everyone is awake.
I
Just a bucket
take
of water, right?
shouldn't take any damage.
Why shouldn't you take damage?
Evasion.
Oh, you have evasion. And you succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll give yourself 15 hit points back then. Let that go away. Everything stopped and I can't make it start again. Why? All right, so that instantly makes everybody awake, fully conscious, as the ball of fire crashes in, and the instinct is everyone's immediately burned. They start thrashing around, putting out any immediate singed pieces of clothing and the like, as that ball of fire crashes in the middle of everyone. Several green arcs of force come flying through the darkness. I don't think I actually. Yeah, I didn't actually apply it to him. See, technically, Steen is still prone. I have disadvantage of the two that come at him. Lucky him. All right. And then Lumo is up. You heard the voice off in the distance, although you can't see. And you did see like the streak of light, which just very briefly illuminated some figures. You kind of get a rough judgment of where they are. You know that they're down the hallway, 80 or so feet, but not 100% on exact locale, because it was just a streak of light for just a brief moment.
These things here, just off to the right here, are they torches or braziers or what?
Yeah, they're torches on the wall.
Did they look easily removable?
They were kind of like metalwork sconces that are kind of bradded into the wall, tacked in some riveted in, if you want to say it that way, into the wall.
Okay.
The torches themselves would have to be replaced, so it's possible that you could, the torches themselves are removable, but it's not something you particularly investigated. You just remember seeing them there. And they're also pretty faint torches as well. They weren't.
Right. Okay.
They like the dim light only came out to about the end of the into the edge of the hallway. So they're only, instead of 30-30, they were only like 15-15, something like that.
Okay. In that case, we're gonna start flinging some light.
Or 2020 has 2020. Sorry. Okay.
Start running, and I'm gonna try and go for the lead guy.
All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do is roll perception first. You heard him casting that arcane spell, see where he was. You have a reasonable idea within within a couple of squares where he's at. So roll a d100. And then I'll allow you to make an attack on him with disadvantage.
I'm going to enter into a defensive state.
Okay. There we go. Finally started again. Alright, Lumo, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, that's bad for me.
You're charging down, following your bolts of light as they illuminate the area. You get a glimpse as you see just the guy that was the main dude standing there, kind of giving you the stare down as you run at him. Just behind, you get a glimmer from as the bolts kind of streak past the dude, missing him, but striking off the wall. You see a couple of your people, and one of them, with a little bit of twisted look on his face, gives an arcane incantation as you're running forward, and then you continue running forward. Poof! Then around you, all you see is nothing but burnt, scorched wasteland in burning hot heat. You're on the plane of fire.
We see him disappear.
For those that can see that distance, see that he was just running forward, and as soon as that, the one in the far back finished casting that spell, Lumo was running forward, and then poof, he's just gone. It's technically not the plane of fire, but that's just the effect that it looks. It looks like the plane of fire.
Oh, okay, that's much different then.
Yeah. He didn't actually cast plane shift on you. Something else though.
Oh, one of those things I can do something about. The other thing I cannot. Planar shift is something I can't do anything about. Oh fuck. Oh man.
Oddly enough, they could probably cast that too. but no. So you are effectively banished for the short.
Oh, okay. Okay. Never mind. Can't do things about that either.
Well, after the rude awakening.
Yeah, and so you're like, oh shit, put up my cloak, put up my like my face mask. No, I don't want people to see my face.
Oh yeah. No.
It's on fire. Okay.
I'm gonna use that fire to light my torch.
Yeah.
And then drink a potion.
Okay. Yes.
And move forward.
Okay. And anything else?
Nope. Now I use an action to light my torch.
Yep.
Bonus action to drink a potion.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next round. See what's up. Gotta push the button. 4 charged bolts of energy all fly directly at you, Steen, of which a couple bounce off harmlessly. One you slightly evade as the other one takes you for only 3 points of damage. So,
Ooh.
not a
But
lot.
it was forceful damage.
It was forceful. It was very forceful.
Forced me to take the damage.
You feel like you're stopped in your tracks for your turn.
Good morning, Izzy.
Morning.
All right. Steen, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. All right, good deal.
If I get lower than 10, doing something wrong.
A spell that you have seen before. A small figment of a fist with a single finger pointing clashes into you with pure necrotic energy. If it'll let me.
Just put a hand up to your face like Curly. You'll be alright.
Does he want me to pull the finger?
"24 points of necrotic damage slam into you as the finger pierces your soul.
Literally a finger wagger.
You see the mage wave his hand, and then a very similar effect to something you've seen before, as his physical form seems to be kind of darting in and out of place as you see multiple copies of himself fluttering in and around in that area. And then, a moment later, you see him make another movement as he disappears.
All right, I'm gonna roll to my feet, try and make sure that all the rest of the fire's out. And then I'm gonna start running.
And you saw Lumo take off running and then just poof disappear right as he got to about that hallway off to the water room.
I'm gonna dash, and as I'm dashing, I'm drawing my dagger.
Okay.
I'm gonna flatten myself against the wall here and try and hide.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, you are pretty confident that without outside of some crazy magics, you're well blended into your surrounding there. Lumo, you are on again on this little demi-plane that is surrounded. You're looking around, and it looks a lot like on 7 Days to Die, the post-apocalyptic zone where everything's on fire and the trees are just burnt crisps, even the ones that are still standing. Like that's kind of what it looks like in kind of every direction around you.
So this is not a mental effect, is what I. Oh, never mind. That's. Forget that. It wouldn't have been mattered anyways. Okay. I'm going to pull out my decanter of endless water and stand on that as I get it to do a stream. I know I'll do a fountain for 5 gallons of water.
Okay. So you're just soaking yourself, or are you actually like trying to water bottle rocket yourself into the
Oh
air?
no, I'm going for cool and refreshing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The barren wasteland looks like, you know, the kind of intense, oppressive heat that you're used to from your homeland, but kind of even escalated a little higher. But on your skin, it doesn't seem to be like burning you or, you know, causing that that normal sun fatigue or any of those normal intense elements that you're kind of used to. It's like it's there. It's like that harmful environment is there, but it's not actually hurting you.
Okay, that's a little bit confusing.
You could
Okay.
try to figure out what. I mean, you could try to either figure out what's going on, or you know, you could try to use an investigation to see if this is an illusion. You could see if it's
Yeah.
you know, why it might be doing that. I mean,
Yeah, I'll try and detect illusion type of action.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
No.
This is not where you were just a moment ago.
Which way did you go, George? Which way
This
did you
is
go?
bad. Damned
Not-
finger waggers.
Not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy.
One fucked up Oz is what it is.
It's just a part of Oz they didn't get to see.
All right, Bijou, you're up. So Steen's got a torch going now, so they're
I can see.
the two halflings are visible. That other caster disappeared.
Well,
Okay, well, I'm gonna use my dash and run in here, actually, 'cause I don't have a whole lot until they get closer. So
Okay.
the final kid.
All right, Steen, you're up.
I'm using my bonus action to combine my shields.
Okay, so you're putting them together. All right, that's good. As you start running forward.
Take dodge action. Let's see what my teammates are going to do.
Okay. All right, so at the start of your turn, everyone but Luma, I need to make a perception check. Even Bijou, you're kind of tucked in there a little bit, but so I think I'm gonna have to make Bijou. I'm gonna have to make yours a disadvantage because of your being down the hallway.
okay.
All right, still
Still
quite
good.
Still quite good. As you look around, you notice, particularly car because of your close proximity. Out of the little crack where the bone powder ghoul, that amorphous ghoul, his home lies, you see a slightly bioluminescent vegetation, like almost like a very aggressive ivy vine growing along the crack, like coming out around, like starting to cling onto the edges of both of the walls, all along this as it's that the bioluminescent is actually putting off a pretty faint light. It's only faint light out to about this far. As you can see, it not only start clinging on and growing along the walls, just creeper vining very aggressively. You can see as it's kind of like it's kind of grabbed on as it's pulling, as some large amorphous-like pile of biomass makes its way as a blob as it's pulling itself out of the little crack. Izzy, Bijou, and Lumo were the three that were inside. This is not the same coloring and kind of makeup of the ghoul itself. This is more. This looks a lot like the actual vegetation mass that you saw at the beginning of the room.
That's the stuff that the mushroom was cultivating.
Yes.
Since I didn't see it, good news, bad news. The thing we were looking for, I think we found it.
Great timing. I don't say that. I'm hiding.
Oh,
Okay, so Lumo, on your turn, you know, you're sitting here in the landscape trying to figure out what's going on. If you want to try to further your investigation, you may. I'll give you advantage on this next time if you like, you know, you try to see if it's really real. You start picking stuff up and breaking, you know, like sticks and like digging in the dirt. Does this feel like real stuff? Does it taste like real stuff? If you go through that kind of full length investigation, you can see if you're in an illusion or if you are actually somewhere else.
well, put something in my mouth.
It is hot.
Sweet 9. Sweet, delicious 9. It crunches like a real stick. It doesn't, you know, it looks kind of like it's smoldering, but when you picked it up, it didn't burn your hand. It does crunch like it's real, but it seems like, you know, if it is an illusion, it still seems like the physicalities of it seem real, but they don't seem to hurt you.
Okay. I'm gonna swallow the stick.
It doesn't taste great. It's a little charcoaly, a little bitter.
Well done. Gotcha.
Is it like spice? Is it like the spice?
Do you spice? Then we're gonna start a whole new level of illusion, and then now we're like gonna be on a different plane, tripping his balls off. Not even.
That was weird. The music just slowed down a lot. Yeah. It's a really cool effect, man.
All right, so this halfling, seeing people kind of charge forward, kind of off to the side, is going to lay down a wall of fire. It's the front one. Yes, this front one. All right, damn it. Stop fighting me, pointers. It's a pretty thin, only just a little over a foot thick wall that it looks just like a literal wall of fire from the floor to the ceiling. Steen, you got your baby toe in it, so I'm gonna need you to roll dexterity saving throw. Okay, so you do not take as much damage.
Woohoo!
That's supposed to be half that. Give yourself 10 hit points back. Still had you targeted.
All done.
Alright, so at the end of the Warlock's turn, what you saw, that blob started to come out of the crack as it was pulling itself out at the end of last turn. You see it form, start to coalesce. It's still got some vines and vegetation and some of that bioluminescent quality to it. Some of its creepers are still along the walls. It's pulling itself out. It also is like it's pulling itself up, forming itself into something very large and very humanoid. You see as it turns, as it lets forth a fog, but it's in a like a very compressed gas, high velocity stream of intense poison. Straight down the hallway. You can see some of that, the spores mixing in with the poison itself as the bioluminescent, the actual dim light that is going off fades as it's drawing energy from whatever that power source is. It spews that poison down the hallway, and then you get a brief flash as it covers over one of the wizards, the one that had gone invisible, eating into his flesh. So he needs to roll a saving throw. Needs to be both a dex and a con. Okay, so he doesn't get all that much. Okay, so he isn't paralyzed, but the acid, the poisony acid spew does hurt him, so he needs to make a Constitution saving throw to maintain his invisibility. Okay, so he did make that, but he's going to take little damage, and become briefly visible as it kind of as this high stream, like wind tunnel style, like starts wrapping around him. As you can see the form of where he would be standing, even though you can't actually see him, you just see how all this high stream stuff diverts around something that has to be standing in that spot. And he's going to take. And then as the stream fades, so does the vision of where he was exactly. And Izzy, you're up. Standing right directly beside you, you saw this wall of fire just kind of shoot up. And even from here, the heat, you can feel it radiating off of you.
So between the stream of poison and the smoke from the fire, I'm going to try and put
You
my
make it
scarf...
sound so dire.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to try and put my scarf up over my face if there's any of it left.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to fish out my decanter of endless water.
Okay.
And if possible, I want to try and maneuver myself to be able to aim at as much of that wall of fire as possible.
Okay.
So like there-ish, I guess. And I'm going to use the geyser to try and put out the wall of fire.
Okay. So you call forth the geyser from the jar, and you can see that in the immediate area, it immediately kind of quelches some of the flames, and directly next to you they kind of disappear. But you can see along the bottom, along the floor, that in some weird, not making a whole lot of sense, where you quelched it, the fire went down. There's still like a source of fire, just like only a couple inches tall, all along the floor right there, that did not get quelched out, even though you pointed straight at it.
Okay. While it's that low, can I just kind of jump over it and dart up to the next tidy hole?
Yes, you can. I'm gonna go ahead and roll just acrobatics. Luckily, you're really good at that, at acrobatics.
Yeah.
So you kind of, you spin your turn. You're kind of drenching this entire area as you go to take off running, and you leap through. Just as the wall of fire, poof, right behind you where you were just standing, and you make it through unscathed.
Okay. My decanter would have been in my bag, so I don't think I have anything left I can do.
See that bonus action?
That's used
To actually activate the gate, it isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but wasn't sure. Yep. You're kind of tucked into the corner there. Yep.
Yeah, just hopefully at least to have cover, or maybe so they can't see me. I don't know. But I think that's all I can do.
Alright, Bijou. You saw the amorphous blob, fire, poisonous, acidic spray together, filled with spores, like all down the hallway, slightly revealing that guy as the kind of that wall of fire curtain was parted as it was streamed through, and then you saw Izzy just dampen the effect of that wall of fire as she jumped through, and then now you and Carr are on this side of the wall.
We can kind of see through the fire, though. Like, it's not just like the flames are flickering, right?
Yeah, it's pretty intense. So I would say most things on the other side are pretty obscured. But yeah, it's not like you have. It's not a solid sheet of iron or anything like that that you can't see through. But it'd be difficult to get much detail or vision far beyond the wall.
I'm gonna use my Misty Step ring
Okay.
and try to just Misty Step through to the other side of the wall.
How far on the other side are you trying to get?
Just on the other side, whatever I can see. Okay.
You could probably make it to about there pretty easily. Okay, yeah.
And then hide behind the mill.
And the Misty Step ring is a bonus to do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're actually not hiding behind me. I'm not there.
Yeah, this is technically
Oh,
he's
that's right.
on a different plane of existence.
Alright, so I run towards Izzy.
Okay, so this thing out of my way. You see the invisibility around this caster fade just as you hear the command word go off for a spell.
Can I counter? I don't even know if I can counter spell.
Yes, I think you could try. Okay, so you hear the command word, you immediately turn, you see as the spell's formulating. You can roll an Arcana check to try to identify it.
Thank you.
In stark contrast to the fire you jumped through, you can sense the forming of bitter cold as he is about to cast Cone of Cold.
I'm sorry, remind me how counterspell works.
If it's a 3rd level or lower spell, it's just countered. Unless they do something in response to counter your counter, or whatever. Otherwise, if it's a higher than 3rd level spell, you have to roll and make a spellcasting check.
But it doesn't take one of my spell slots.
Yeah, it's a 3rd level spell you're casting.
No, then I can't.
You can cast it at a higher level.
I can't.
Oh, but you can't.
Never mind, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you are
Yeah, I can't.
out.
Can I just yell stop?
Please, no, God, no.
Just stop!
I need you and Izzy to both roll a Constitution saving throw. Since it's against magic, and you're a gnome, you get advantage on that.
Woohoo!
I think that's right. It's only, no, it says con save. It might not be for con saves. Let me look. Either way, it doesn't matter. I don't think it does, but I'm not gonna look it up now. So, all right. So you both make the saving throw. Oops. Why did it do that? Okay. Oh, y'all are still targeted. Damn it. Thought I cleared it. So, add 32 hit points back, Car. Steam, put yourself at 25.
Thanks.
You both make the saving throw as the blast of cone hit. The cone of cold hits you both for 16 points of damage, and not the other two people because they were not the ones that were fired at. So yeah, again, yeah, give yourself 32 hit points back, Car, and Steen back. Put yourself back at 25. Her, not 25 wounds. With 25 hit points left. There you go. Yeah, you got it.
These halflings don't look like they're here against their will, I'm guessing.
No, they do not.
Like they are happily mowing us down right now.
Even gleefully so. Coy smile and all. The halfling version of this.
So, yep, pretty sure we found Lumos traitors. Or they found us, I guess.
Green Eldritch energy flings down the hallway. 2 at Bijou, 2 at Steen, 1 hitting Bijou. And the other 2 bouncing off of the wall that is Steen's double overlap shields in front of him.
Bing, bing.
Although you're not unconscious. Okay, there you go.
Just want to be clear. Can I see that the fucked up name spelled person? Fjarn. Whatever.
Fjarn Drivan.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you can. He is visible. He's actually visible. As you saw that cutting cone of cold blast over your friends.
Green Flame Blade.
Pause.
Yay.
Pause.
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 No!
Pause.
No!
What?
He's got mage
What?
image up.
God
So
damn it.
Damn finger waggers.
don't worry, another 3 rounds will take care of that.
Yeah, because we won't be alive.
It's poison, the cold, and the fire when they join together to make the
Make the
evil warlock
elementals.
Voltron.
Captain Sludge.
Yeah, Captain Planet's evil counterpart.
Captain Pollution.
Hexus from Ferngully.
Yeah.
Actually, Captain Pollution. That's a really nail-biter bit of the series.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I need you to roll a d20, Steen, and let me see what happens. I always forget what is which for the...
Alright. Was that 20? That was not a 20. Wait, what?
1 second. Okay, roll a 6 or higher to change the target to a duplicate. So, the first one... Wait. You rolled a d8?
Yeah.
Followed by, is that a d12?
Am I just being a dice idiot right now? Yeah, that's me. Consistent.
Well, it was nice knowing y'all.
I know they're digital, but you really need to change the color of your dice or something.
Anyway.
I can't change the color of each dice based on what type of dice they are.
But if you arrange it, you know that the far left... So if you right-click on an open spot, and then on the far left radial says arrange dice.
I do, and they move all the
20,
time.
12, 10, 8, 6, 4. And it goes down. But you can always rearrange them so it automatically puts them in the order so you know which is which. Just for the future. It makes it easier. Okay, so rolling the correct dice, finally. That means it would not have redirected, so in response he's going to cast Shield. Which makes that hit miss. And then you also notice a faint glowing aura around him as the casting of Shield not only puts the defensive barrier that deflects your blow, it also seems to recharge something else that he's got. If I can find the damn thing. A small bit.
Yeah, try it again.
So our next campaign, if we all re-roll monks, I think we can come up with some really awesome backstory.
Yeah, make ourselves the Ninja Turtles. Our enemy could be Shredder-like.
I'm going to drink a potion.
Why do you have... Oh, wait a second. Back up. Steen, it rolled disadvantage for you, and I think that's because the invisible tag did not actually go away, so you dropped a 17 plus 9. So, roll one more attack, Steen. Now that the invisible tag is off. Okay, never mind. So nothing changed. Okay.
Consistently low today.
You do notice when you get up on him, this finger wagger, it does have a shield, like a small buckler on it under his robe, like long, the kind of robe that the arms are like, the sleeves at the wrists are like 2 feet long, and then as he kind of moves, he's got a small buckler hidden underneath that arm that he's going through. Okay, sorry, Car, go ahead.
Potion.
Okay. Alright, so at the end of that round, our amorphous being begins to actually come, it started to form the humanoid appearance. As you look at it, you see, it's a large hulking figure. You see that now it's starting to gain definition as you see a large beard coming around its head, growing out as from this vegetation. You see its forms, chiseled features begin to see, and it's a car, it's a familiar looking form to you. Josh, if you want to go ahead and click on your thing. You see it formulate into the image of Lodrin.
So just because you said Josh, you can click on your thing, could be a misdirection. And I would like to detect good and evil. Or wait till my turn, however you want to do it.
Yeah, I think we can do that. Actually, that's a good question. Are you good or evil, either one, Lodrin?
Definitely neutral good. Or, yeah.
You see an aura of good coming from the newly formed vegetation mass.
Josh, please cover up your vegetation mass.
Starting to gain some definition, but not much in the way of clothes. So
He's like a big green Dr. Manhattan.
This fat bastard.
I need Lodrin, go ahead and open up your character sheet and roll initiative. See where you go in on this turn.
I just say, guys.
Get in my belly.
No, I don't say that. Wolfman.
So there is still a whole bunch of the bioluminescent spores and biomass still clinging to the walls, and like his form kind of comes up out of it as he kind of takes a step out. There's still a bunch of that on the walls and stuff around him. Okay.
Remember, people, power of the beard.
You see this arcane caster again begin to cast another spell. As he does so, so he's already got he had just had the shield up for a brief period of time, which I need to make sure I get rid of. He's got so that was acting as a barrier. He also has some other kind of barrier that seemed to recharge when he cast that last spell, as well as all this the mirror imaging effect going on. And now, at the completion of this particular spell, a large visible bubble of force comes around him, a large globe, if you will, surrounds him across out to an area of about 10 feet on all sides, as he nonchalantly turns and just begins walking away from Steen back down the hallway.
Steen is not encased in the bubble?
He's inside of the bubble, but the bubble moves with him as you can see it moving as he goes over, as he starts walking away. Steen, that would potentially provoke an attack of opportunity
Bubbles.
from you.
Pop
Yeah.
the bubble.
I tried. Man, I just gave up my opportunity to use my whip or green flame blade.
Alright, I think it's gonna do. You see that other that the wizard kind of walks over in front of the other warlock. I need to look at something real quick. How long does banishment have to channel for?
A minute.
It's 1 minute, right? Okay. Okay, good. No permanent effects have happened.
I don't think there is permanent effects for banishment.
Permanently get banned. I mean, you just if it channels the full minute, then you're there.
Wasn't that only for something that's native, like not native to
Yeah.
the current plane?
Oh no, that's right. It isn't. That's right. You're right. If it's
Or is Lumo not native to the current plane?
I'm pretty native to the material plane here.
Yeah, I'll have to read that again. It's on that little safe demi-plane.
Yeah, it's if the target is native to the plane of existence you're on, you banish the target to harmless demi-plane, and when that spell, the target remains there until the spell ends, at which point the target reappears.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's only if they're from a different plane do they go back permanently. Okay. Good. That's at least not as bad as it could be.
Might be safer on that plane, Lumo.
Okay, so Bijou, I need you to make an Arcana check. This warlock begins casting the spell Feeble Mind. I need you to make intelligence saving throw with advantage.
That 17 is definitely better than 2.
Yeah. Feeble Mind is bad. You do know about the Feeble Mind spell that it makes someone a dullard. It literally puts their charisma and intelligence scores at 1 for 30 days before they get another saving throw. And you're unable to take actions or cast spells or communicate. You still know friendly from foe, but luckily, through sheer force of will and knowledge of the spell, you're able to counteract its effects. That's one of the few save or suck spells that are still left. Pulling all the stops. All right, Lumo, what would you like to do on your demi-plane? You're reasonably convinced that the environment can't harm you despite its outward appearance.
I'm gonna pee on it. I'm gonna shout my magic command word geyser and pee on it.
Activating your own inner jar of endless water.
What place is this? Stench of decay, destruction. It's gonna cast Dispel Magic on the Wall of Fire.
Okay. So that's, let me see what level that's. They're warlocks, so they cast it all at their highest level. So it's a 5th level spell. So you're gonna need to roll something. Let me check again. Roll your spellcasting ability, which is Wisdom. Roll a Wisdom check. I'm going to give you advantage because of your still connection to the Gaia energy that brought you back. And that wall of fire dispels. So it's like the wall of fire drops. The people on the other side actually get a good glimpse of the details as they see the image of Lodrin, still somewhat made of mostly vegetation, step through the recently dispelled wall of fire.
You remember your faces.
He's even still giving off this faint glow of bioluminescence.
I just yell, it's him. I think it's him.
Okay, Izzy's she's just been gaping at him as he steps through where the wall of fire was, and then just kind of shakes. Is like, okay, no, we got a job to do. Okay,
That-
she's gonna. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh, she's gonna drop the decanter and draw her her cutlass, and we're gonna charge these guys, I guess.
Alrighty.
Did the wall of force here look like the same sort of thing that was around the around the vampire ritual and stuff?
No.
It looks different.
This is different. Yeah, definitely giving off a different kind of aura or emanation than that. And it is important to note that as Steen walked, as he walked away, it just passed over Steen. It didn't pull him or tug him or interact with him as he walked away in that nature.
Yeah, so Steen seemed unaffected by it, so I'm gonna assume that I can go through it. So I'm gonna stab this guy, or try to.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, feel free to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, sorry, I just got a lot of stuff in my weapons.
Oh yeah. That swashbuckler action.
What?
You notice
Oh.
as the full brunt of your ability, as you're diving straight for a weak point, you notice that there is a slow glimmer of aura around him that is very similar to the one that looked like the other caster looked that same. Like when he cast that one spell, it seemed to recharge some of that faint thing that it's nearly skin close and form fitting, but there's like this barrier of force, and it looks like the barrier absorbed a good part of the damage, and then as it does, it kind of flashes with a little bit of brilliance and light, but then you see it dim to almost nothing.
All right, well, he's gonna get my offhand then too. Although I wish I hadn't used my sneak attack on the first one now.
From a game mechanic standpoint, it's temporary hit points. Not that it reduced the damage to 0. You just
That's a
didn't
lot, though.
It is. Aha! Some of it was partially absorbed, but then you notice as that little barrier completely fades with your second attack.
So I'm gonna, after I stab at him twice, I'm gonna spin away and go back around the corner, hopefully to get some cover.
Okay. Is that one the one? Is that one concentrated or anything? Let's see. The other ones can't concentrate and banish. This one's done nothing but new. No. Okay. No. All right, Carr. You have open forum.
I just remember dying. I start to charge forward, by the way. I use a dash. I remember dying, and first thing I saw was binds pull down a creature, and I thought it was Lodrin. So I charged forward, somewhat emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And I cast my last spell. Oh shit, I just had it in front of me. Thunderweave.
I would do the thunder wave. Okay. And so that's or is that specific? There's one
Constitution saving.
One of them is point blank around you, right? Where it it's a
15-foot cube originating from me.
Okay, yeah. So that's like this.
Oh, well, that's different than what I had in my head.
Yeah, so it's like you basically give out a shockwave centered on you that does damage around you and knocks people back.
It's about worthless, but I'm committed, so fuck it.
The warlock fails. So he takes the damage and then is... Are they knocked back, I think?
Yes. 10 feet.
Knock into the wall. I want you to roll me a d6. See him crash into the wall and not quite concuss himself, but definitely the impact seems to jar him a little.
I had a little bit of movement, so I just a step or two back.
And so that was the thunder wave you use as a you use your helm to make that a bonus.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I did a dash and I took 2 things from my. Well, it's a level 1, so it's 2 things, right?
Yep, 1 charge plus spell level. Yep, so 2.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right, I call the big guy in the middle a bully again.
You notice as your spell. Wait.
Sorry.
As your spell goes to penetrate the orb that surrounds him, it dissipates.
And then I take off running toward Lodrin and run as hard as I can to smack into him.
Take 1 point of known damage.
Beard absorbed it.
The beard absorbed.
Did the beard in her hair, I think.
It's safe. It's fine.
Well cushioned. Okay, so you can see the warlock in the back begin casting a spell. Which you can try to identify with an Arcana check if you'd like. It's Flame Strike. A cylinder of fire and radiant energy erupt from the floor and clash all the way up against the ceiling above. I need Carr and Steen to roll a dexterity saving throw as they're caught in the column of fire and radiant energy.
I mean, spell. Absorb elements.
Okay. Okay.
I've still got roll dexterity.
Whether or not it's halved. And then absorb elements cuts the damage in half. Is that right?
I have resistance to the triggering damage type.
Okay. And what type were you? Because it's
Whatever
technically two different spell types. One's radiant, one's half of it's radiant, half of it's fire.
I don't think it can trigger off a radiant, but I'm not sure.
No, it can't.
Yeah, so it's gonna have to
Only
be the
on-
fire, just the fire then. That's what I thought, but you know. I wish that split that up for me, which it does not. So I'll say that is. Okay, so we'll take 8 off of this. See if this works. So taking 8 off from 35 does make it 27, but it does knock you down. And yeah, you both failed. It's not looking pretty good, folks. Come on.
It hasn't been looking very good the whole fight, so.
Oh, failure. And that's a 1. So that's
Mhm.
2. That's a critical failure. You have 2
Yeah.
death, 2 failed death saves.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, the 1 on the death saving throw. That's rough.
Yeah, but expected.
Yeah, you are kind of the Will Wheaton of the group when it comes to rolls.
One's my favorite number.
And the loneliest number.
Lodrin's gonna cast Cure Wounds on Steen.
Okay. drawing him back to consciousness. Still kind of prone on the ground, but that is probably similar to how you feel, yes. The council shall not permit you to live. I see you've made work of some already. You have not met one with powers as such as mine. Even if you could get through my barriers, you will not survive this encounter. Nor this place. The evil gods will feast on your soul as the prophecy shall go unfulfilled.
I've survived worse.
Kind of looks at you like, just kind of hawkishly looking down his nose. By the look of you, I wouldn't say you've done much surviving. The death energy inside of you, I can sense it. It'll twist you. It'll turn you. That power corrupts. You think you've survived, and you may seek to help. But when will that end? When will you join one of us? Only time will tell.
Perhaps. But it is the life that always finds a way.
You see him back up a little bit. He kind of turns to the halfling. It is your turn to fulfill your side of the contract. I go to join my brethren, as he begins casting a spell.
Of course he does. It's probably good for us. The bad guy's like, I'm going to leave and assume everything's going to work out in my favor.
How very Bond villain of you.
Yeah. All we needed was a monologue with all of his evil plans.
So you can roll Arcana check to see what he's doing, but it becomes pretty obvious as a portal opens up behind him, and he steps through as it disappears. As he teleports away. High-level abjuration wizards are actually a tough nut to crack.
Especially when you're starting on empty.
Mm-hmm.
And then when one of your
And
people decides to play with fire.
The best person at actually stopping him, or at it thwarting him, is on a different plane of existence right now. Alright, Car, you're up.
Turn to Steen. It's like, let's go. Let's die fucking covered in all of their fucking blood.
It is a good day to die.
Get to use my sword. So I'm always happy. And I throw that motherfucker back 10 feet. Scraping the wall if I can.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll me another d6.
Did he scrape his elbow on the wall, Drad?
A little boo boo.
It's a little funny bone. More like you took 2 points of damage from funny bone pain.
Good.
Ah.
Excellent. Alright, so this guy has cast all kinds of really nasty stuff. He's used his Finger of Death. He's used his Feeble Mind.
Maybe it's time to try a fluffy pillow.
Fire. Okay. He begins casting Scorching Ray. As 6 rays of fire, like shotgun blast, start arcing across in front of him, trying to hit multiple targets.
I just want to laugh at him as I fall unconscious.
Oh, you're still conscious?
By 2.
You cast like a bitch!
Easy.
I'm gonna
So
try and
with
lay.
one of
Okay.
those scorching rays hit Lodrin, he's starting to smell pretty bad now. He smelled kind of rough before, but he's really starting to stink.
We love you no matter what you smell like. The worst.
Not the one!
I'm infectious.
Let me double check real quick before, just in case. So that's
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead. Yep. You notice as the small, as you go to stab in, aiming right for the weak point, there's that small armor of force that silhouettes all along, skin tight around them, and just as you go to stab, it absorbs the entirety of the blow.
Is he literally start swearing like a sailor?
Which guy did the banishment, by the way?
The one she's attacking.
She's gonna start yelling at them. What did you do with him?
Okay. You gotta do it in the Batman Joker voice thing, though.
All right, so Bijou stands up a little straighter and wipes the tears away from her eyes and picks up her handcorn, and she starts talking gibberish again. She says, "Laissez moi tranquille, Warlock Fiend 2." Emboldened by Lodrin telling her to focus.
Okay,
So then I roll damage?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep. He does really well on the success, so he's not affected by the debuff part of it, but he does take some damage. Rolled really well on that save.
She marches up to stand next to Lodrin.
Yeah, I'm conscious. I'm just gonna lay there for a second and drink a potion.
Ooh, yeah. Good little.
Yeah. One is not the loneliest number. That song is wrong.
Just you and your hand tonight there, Wolfen.
Yeah. And I'm gonna stand up. And take a defensive action and regain myself.
Mm-hmm. You gonna move forward any, or are you gonna? You
Nope,
still have
I'm
15 feet left.
I'm also in shock of Lodrin.
Okay.
I'm now conscious and in shock.
A giant mushroomy tree slash Lodrin.
The beard from the mist showed up and just fucked with my mind. I'm bewildered.
Okay, so this one has not cast all of his real big nasty spells since he was concentrating on that. Still concentrating. Okay, no, he's still. Okay, yeah, so we haven't cracked that, so he's still concentrating. Never mind. Never mind. I think he's going to also cast Scorching Ray. Okay, so this is a ranged spell attack. So he's going to have disadvantage against Izzy right in his face. The two that go right at her. Ooh, yeah, that didn't make it. Is going to get a tiny bit more singed. Let's see, that's 5. So you got one more. All right. Lodrin's up first.
Need you stay behind me.
Oh, he failed.
Oh, what was? Oh, blight. Oh man.
You can see like immediately that necrotic energy go in and start to drain him. The little bit of barrier flickers for just a brief bit as the necrotic energy washes over him, and you can see that he's somewhat feeble for a moment in time. And now I need to roll a concentration check, which I have a feeling is going to fail, since he got hit with 28.
Lumil's probably already built a hut. And
Oh, that's a big, fat, fucking terrible bad failure.
Nice.
As Lumil comes in the middle of eating a stick.
That's not what he was doing when he was coming back.
Uh huh.
There's been a whole lot of that going on this session.
My rolls are contagious even for the enemy. Aha.
So after the spell, Lodrin's going to turn to the other warlock. And you see him kind of raise an arm up and flourish it a little bit, almost in a little wave, and a barely visible little draft of spores flow out of him towards the other fellow there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a straight 6 damage. I don't have that set up anywhere.
Just straight 6 damage, and that's the Warlock
Yep.
2?
Yep.
Roger. We can fix all that stuff later.
Alright, I'm gonna jump out of my pants, because they're down my ankles anyways.
Someone was just Donald ducking it across the hallway.
I find it fitting that he goes number 1 like Butters from South Park.
Mm-hmm. Writing his name in the sand, and all of a sudden he was just there, and almost writing his name on Bijou. Oh shit, I'm back. Composes himself rather quickly.
The control is impressive, really.
He wasn't that convinced about where he was, alright?
See, this Warlock's getting beaten to a pulp. He's pretty banged up. That funny bone's really aching him right now. Ooh, that's a double fail. See that the one against the wall is like slumped up against the wall, like roasted and just sputtering. But you're one of us. Why would you side with the outsiders?
You were one of us. One of my people. Why would you side with the devils?
It's how we will take back what is ours. It's our path to vengeance.
You misguided fool. It's not ours to take back, it's ours to restore.
It's kind of wheezes and coughs. The one guy against the wall. Alright, Bijou.
Alright, I come in, kind of hide behind Lodrin and use my hand cone again.
Did successful on the save, but I only had 2 hit points left, so you see it like as it was already kind of slumped up against the wall. It just begins to slide down the wall as a rasping wheeze leaves its mouth, and then it just falls over dead.
And I look over at Carr and I say, Carr, we can do this. You can do this. And I give him a bardic inspiration, which is a D8, I believe.
Mhm.
That you can use for an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Mhm.
Oh, it's going to get used.
Maybe. If it was. We got a chance that things can get taken care of pretty quickly here, I think. Since this one got to go last.
I kind of look over at Lumo, trying to see if I can take a cue from him, what he wants to do here. There's a slight moment of hesitation, since these are his people.
I'm not giving any cues. I don't think.
It just looks focused and intent.
Um, I wish this. Sorry, I'm just reading some things. I guess I'm. Lumo attacked him, so I guess I'm gonna do the same.
Okay.
Just saying, you were so blinded by your desire for vengeance, you betrayed your people. Oh crap! I should have used my.
Whoops. Whoops.
Don't be teasing us with magical items.
Yeah.
It's locked. That's why I did it. Damn it.
I forgot to use my sneak attack. Sorry.
Go ahead and
Use it.
roll. Go ahead and just do your 5. Is it 5d6? Let's see what we got. Oh, 23.
Yeah.
23.
Seems good.
That's decent. Decent.
It's okay.
He looks extremely wounded. This one not being absorbed by any magical barriers stabs through and through. As you can see, your cutlass sticking out the backside is. You pull it out, he's barely standing.
I just stick it into his shoulder.
I'm going to be mean.
He's like wriggling.
All right, Steen.
Seems hungry. Green blood.
Can you be the hero that they need? Can you hit?
Yeah.
With it rolled it twice, 2 times.
Well, it didn't go first time. It like lagged or something.
Yeah. He has 1 hit point. How do you want to do this?
I just crush his skull into my shield. Yep,
It's
pretty
an
much.
overhand smash with the link together, two pieces of shield, and it's just bong.
Oh,
And you hear as the steel reverberates, a gong-like sound. It's followed by a sickening crunch. As the neck was up here, and then the neck's down here, as the spine is compressed. Any pulse over it.
Yay! Man, I did a lot of work there.
We
Man,
did it. We did it, Reddit.
Oh man.
I got 1 out of 2 kills. Woo! So much work.
You almost were a kill.
And y'all looking
But
pretty ragged right now.
that doesn't count because I wasn't.
I'm going to take a nap right in front of this door. What could go wrong?
Yeah. I mean, now, nothing. That guy's probably like cowering in fear because Limo's not eating burning sticks of imagination.
We're going to investigate these things. We need to do it soon. We need to leave.
Limo's no longer in imagination land.
I walk over to Lumo and I just say, "Are you okay?"
I'm going to walk by her and ignore her completely as I go put on my pants.
Fair. Forgot about that.
Yeah, when you do that flying leap, that third attack was not your fist.
It was my hammer. That's my name for my penis.
Oh, really? Is that what you intended by that?
The
Thanks for
flying
that.
hammer.
Glad you clarified, because I was confused what you meant by that. I thought you actually
It's called
had a hammer.
roleplay.
Oh, okay.
It's role playing a tripod. Gotcha.
I'm like, should I ask what's Lumo packing right now?
So, then in Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage, because he's small, so he's got a small size cock. So I can guess again.
Once Lumo puts on his pants, I'll ask him if he's okay.
Could try camping in the
Uh,
caverns. We don't have to go all the way to the desert, possibly.
Yeah, fine.
This level started with how many? Was it 48 out of 64,000? Is that where the starting was for this level?
I think something like that.
I'm gonna get loader fixed up here.
Question is, do we go back to sleep?
I don't think here's a good idea.
I've said my piece on it.
I don't have a hut to protect us at all.
Izzy asked Lumo if he knew the halflings.
I don't know all of the people that live here. But I mean, there are definitely those among my people that I knew that spoke of taking back their land, but I had not yet met someone who would go so far as to align themselves with the devils. Fiends. No, I don't know these ones.
So maybe they weren't part of your clan specifically? I don't know how big your clan is.
A few dozen.
I'm gonna start searching the halflings, ostensibly looking for any kind of clan marker, but also looking for anything good.
The warlocks only have a bit of coin, which I added to the party sheet when you kind of investigate and look around. So go ahead and roll an investigation check. You do get a feeling that if you'd been able to catch that other wizard before he left,
We would have died.
Yeah, we'd be dead. So
maybe, but I was gonna ask, is he specifically? Do you have? No, you would not have your detect magic on.
No.
That's 10 minutes. Yeah.
Also, I had been sleeping and just drew my weapon, so I wouldn't have had it in my hand.
The one thing to note is the brass. Make sure I get it right. I've already forgot. Bronze. It's bronze. That door is that sliding sound that Lumo had heard, metal on metal, was in fact the mechanisms of that door, and they are ever so slightly ajar.
Oh. I'll point that out to the rest of the party. That they must have come from in there.
Lumo, I need you to make a. Let's make a perception check. Ooh, quite good. Okay.
Good answer.
So, specifically, the rod you picked up from the other room, you're kind of going back over your belongings, make sure you got everything with you when you came back from that other plane. It doesn't feel like it has the same level of power that it had when you first acquired it. It's like it's slowly draining some of its ability over time. Like you had an idea of what you could do to activate it and use it, but it's definitely not, doesn't have the potency it did even yesterday.
Booty.
Well, we definitely need to retreat to somewhere to recover. If we come across a couple more of their fellows, I don't know if we'll make it through. Lodrin, how are you here?
That is a long story, even by my telling. It all started in Tenaria. Your actions there did more than just vanquish a foe. But this place is not a place for stories. Let us go on.
I do agree. I have many questions, but not now.
So what are we thinking?
Back to the caverns.
Well, I am spent.
Oh,
But we just engaged a big bad finger wagger. So,
3 of them. It's a lot of fingers.
I'm going to put one of my weapons away and take out the rod of alertness.
so I want to rest, but I don't think we should.
I don't know that anywhere here's safe.
Normally, we felt like we've maintained some sort of element of surprise because anyone we've met, we've killed. Well, we just gave up that little bit of advantage.
The safest thing would be to port back to the garrison.
But we may never find this place again.
Yeah.
How long does it? I mean, I may not know. We've never used it, but the porting thing. How long of a cast is that?
It just said that someone would have to channel a 3rd level spell or higher into it.
We're not going home. Not via that.
No.
Right, forgot about that.
But it didn't say. It didn't say how long it would take to activate, or how long after, or like it could be a minute. You know, we don't know. We don't know if it draws a circle or a portal or whatever, and then you get on it and then teleport back. You know, you don't actually know how. I mean, you've not actually seen it work. All you've seen is him draw the sigil through magic at your place and gave you the stone and said you could use it to get back by channeling a 3rd level spell into it.
How far away was the last clan hideout that we passed?
There was the small overlook nook on the cliffside, although it was not so much like the regular hideout, because it was more like literally just like a crow's nest kind of thing, not really a meant for more than just a couple of people at a time. And then before that, it was a full day from that one to the nearest one after that.
I'm going to make sure I say I pick up my decanter, so I have that again.
I mean, if we go through that door, if we'll have to stand and send our quickest, stealthiest one.
I want to go see what's in the door, honestly, in case they're holding any of Lumos people who aren't here by choice.
I was not aware there were captives. We should most certainly try to press forward.
Well, it's nice to have you back, Mildred. If there's anything you can do to make us feel slightly better, I think we should push on.
Maybe I can at least take a look through the door and see if there's anything on the other side of note.
Do it.
What do we have for healing potions left? I've got 3 regular ones.
2 regular, 1 greater.
Okay, let's
One
maybe
greater.
heal up who we can, just in case this goes south. I'm gonna pop one of my healing potions.
Still feel it's a waste whether I have 2 hit points or 19. I don't really think it matters.
Oh, wait, I had a few more than that.
I take my potion of greater healing that I have left and I secure it to my belt so it's in easy reach, but I'm not going to use it right now.
Okay.
All right, I've got my Rod of Alertness in one hand, my Cutlass in the other. I'm going to stealth up towards the door and take a listen, see if I can hear anything on the other side.
Okay, so you got Cutlass and Rod. Perception. You listen intently and hear no stirrings, no movement, no sounds coming from the other side of the door.
Yep, just rolling just to make sure, because I have an advantage with the rod. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that one sees. That one, you're the guy from Hogan's Heroes who sees nothing, he hears nothing.
Yep, so I'm just gonna very carefully kind of creak open the door slowly, hopefully not making too much noise, and try and poke my head around the crack in the door.
It has huge mass and bulk, but when you go to pull on it, it swings very easily and freely, almost surprisingly so, given its size and what must be the sheer mass behind it. It just takes a small tug as it opens, and quite quietly as well, with very well greased hinges.
Okay. I'm also going to activate my detect magic
Okay.
while I'm going through.
So what was barely ajar, like it's basically these huge, 2 massively thick doors that were just barely just off kilter from one another, enough that you could tell that they were actually open. As you start to pull it back, a little bit of light starts to come from torches on the other side. Peek into a room. You're kind of on the edge of a wall, as you can see very easily that it kind of goes in and around the wall right next to you, as there's more room behind it. But there are a couple of torches on the walls, and across from it, you see tables with all kinds of everything from alchemy jugs to books to all kinds of things on tables just inside the door.
Okay. I'm going to try and slip inside the door. Are any of the things on the table like pinging on my detect magic?
I can see on this one. There's a massive amount of things in this room. As far as items or like things. Let me open this up. Nothing as that you can see from those tables. No. Okay, so as you come in, you do notice that in the top right corner there is another small, heavily barricaded door, like a barred, like very heavy iron door.
Okay. Looks
is-
like a holding cell.
It's not like bars, not the bars like a cell bar or anything like that. I meant like bar, like the metal, like a lock bar, not a.
Oh, like a big heavy like barricaded.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Not like cell bars, but like an actual like a locking bar.
A beam.
Okay. I'm keeping myself flat. I'm just gonna sidle up to the edge and peek around the corner.
Like keeping something out
Like
kind
here.
of bar.
This room is filled to the brim with supplies, weapons, armor racks, and from some of the tables holding a couple of the weapons, you see small glints of your detect magic going off.
No people here.
You see no one in this room.
Okay. And there was no detect magic coming off of the barricaded door?
Correct. Yeah, nothing off of the barricaded door.
Is the whole thing made of metal or just the actual like the bar barricading it?
The whole thing. The door itself looks like a solid iron door.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna do this real quick. Clear that out.
Okay, I want to go over and just take a closer look at some of the things that are pinging on my detect magic. Also keeping an eye out for any traps and things.
You see on these tables, okay, so you see a couple of small sacks. They look almost like little rucksacks. They're not very big. They're only as big as like a plastic grocery bag kind of thing. But they're giving off of there's two of them on one of the tables giving off a faint aura. There is a quarterstaff leaned up against a wall, giving off a faint aura. A scimitar, a short sword, a spear. And that's all that you can
I
see.
hear everybody piling into the room behind me.
What?
Ah!
I'm gonna put my torch out because now I can see you without my torch.
Lodrin's gonna hold his hand up to his face and try to whisper, "Ignore us. Keep doing what you were doing."
Ignore me!
Okay, I'm gonna point out the things for them. I'm gonna say there's a couple of things over there, a couple of rucksacks, there's a scimitar, etc., etc., etc. That are something magical about them.
We're grabbing all the things.
Yeah. So you guys take care of that, and I'm gonna go inspect this other door.
Honestly, if our bag of holding has space, we should get arm our troops with some of this extra stuff too. Assuming all the things on the table are there that I see.
So Izzy, you roll an investigation, so we can look at the door, and everybody else are kind of like, ooh, stuff. Okay, so this door has a more mundane kind of lock on it, something that you're more familiar with being able to pick. It has a bar on this side, and by the construction, it looks like it would have a bar on the other side as well. That are separate. They're not interlinked. They're separate from one another. But looking through, as you're kind of looking through, the bar on the other side is not there. Has been removed. But the door is locked. With that mundane, like heavy iron padlock kind of thing. It looks like it was locked and then barred.
So this is, to me, this is kind of smacks of like a prisoner processing area, like where they would take away all of their stuff. Before I do anything with the door, can I kind of look through any of the books and stuff on the tables and see if that maybe rings true?
If you're looking at the stuff on the tables, definitely look a little more, if you were, encyclopedia of how-tos. There's a lot of information on alchemy and construction and how to build, how to dig safely, how to lots of things that are like very survivalist camp, end of days kind of information on how to purify water and how to, all kinds of stuff like this. Is a whole bunch of the kind of stuff on the table that is collected.
Things that halflings trying to survive in the desert might own.
Possibly, yeah. Like I'm thinking, like your preppers. This is like your, bunker dwelling, got all the guns and weapons and swords and armor, and this is your medieval version of what looks like a prepper's bunker.
Okay.
And so I'm going to. So I'm going to say we're going to take. Let's go ahead and think about taking a break. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss. I assume we're just going to thoroughly investigate boxes and crates,
pretty
and
much,
chests
yeah,
and all this stuff in here. And so there are lots of things. The majority of the crates and boxes are food, like long-term storage food, and water skins, although they're not full because they have their magic well of water, but they're all packed in a crate for use for people coming and going, and you'd imagine that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna. Does anybody want to do with something with the items that are on the party sheet before I drag this over and everything gets all mixed together? This is a long list.
Okay. Yeah, I might take, I guess, some of the cult robes.
If anybody doesn't have cult robes, you should take them just in case we, have a Halloween party or something.
I've been using them to make torches.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We'll go ahead and take the last one then.
Yeah.
I have a few on me all ripped up. So.
It's been effective.
I don't have my scroll of oil anymore either. I use it to oil up the robes, so I could make them burn.
All right, it's clear. It's like Christmas. Drad gave us Christmas.
Yay.
After he tried to kill us.
You were worried we were going to leave right before we went in the door, weren't you?
I wasn't wanting to go all the way back home. I was just sleep in the desert because there's still the other door that we made.
All right, there we go. So as you can see,
oh my god,
the chests contain money. Lots of money.
I like money.
Sledgehammer.
Holy mackerel, that's a lot of money.
That's got a lot. They got money.
They've got like an entire merchant store in here.
So you get to figure out what you want, what you can actually carry and keep and take. By the way, those sacks were haversacks. Not as cool as a bag of holding, but they don't hold nearly as much volume or weight as bags of holding, but they are expanded storage, so to speak.
I mean, we might want to use them to carry out all the money.
Someone's gonna be walking around with 10,000 pounds of gold. Help me,
So-
Jesus!
FYI, Lodrin can carry loads or push, pull, and drag as a size larger than what he is. So that's like a large person.
Mm.
With a category 14 strength. I think, yeah, 14 strength as large. I'll have to look and see what that weight is. I don't know if we punch that in.
Oh, there's a short sword for.
Oh yeah, it's
Is he
no,
in
it's
there?
automatically done. So yeah, you can carry 420 pounds, and then you can maximum lift, push, drag up to 840 pounds. So that's significantly more than.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Than everybody
yeah,
else.
Sword.
Mm. Everything needs attunement.
What does? What?
Oh, the sword of lifesteal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the short sword of life stealing. Yeah, it only works like that. Only works on the 20s.
I'm taking some healing potions.
Still though.
But it's neat.
Yeah, I think I might take that sword.
I mean, I don't use them really right now. So.
Yeah, it is only on the 20, so it only does 1d6 normally.
Mm-hmm. Debate.
That's still more dice. On a crit, that's really fun.
As a survivalist, the haversack was something Steam would really like. Where's the
Yeah, I'm still
jerky?
gonna take that.
For 100 days worth of rations.
Yay!
In there. So.
Preppers indeed.
Notice there's also a whole lot of different tool types. From tinkers to thieves tools to alchemy supplies to mining picks and cartographer's tools and carpentry tools.
Yeah, those could be really nice to bring back to the garrison, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Weaver's tools. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Weaver's tools. Plus a whole bunch of mundane weapons and
Quarterstaff in there. Someone can duck dodge, parry dodge.
Can I take one of the haversacks?
I don't care.
I'm
gonna
taking
take
rations.
the cartographer's tools.
Ooh. Spiked armor.
so we're actually probably getting to the point where people have enough gold on them that they're actually going to have to consider the weight of the gold. Normally that doesn't factor in, but
Not if we have a haversack.
right. Well, I mean those only hold 80 pounds, I believe, for a haversack. 80 pounds of gold. That's a lot of gold. I mean, but
I have nowhere to spend the gold, so I'm just throw it in the dirt.
Couple heavy crossbows. Those are nice. $2,000 arrows.
every 50 coins weigh a pound. By that's just in general, like so even if it's copper, silver, whatever, every 50 coins weighs a pound.
Mm-hmm.
As we now we're, especially for the little ones that were really close to the edge of their weight limits anyway, you might want to make sure you're factoring that in.
Yeah, are we taking a break now? You
Yeah,
mentioned a break.
so I think before we start just grabbing everything out of
There's
there,
nothing I want. I think everything left we're just still in the bag of holding, so you ain't got to worry about me.
The healing potions we might want to distribute.
There's all kinds of there's a whole bunch of regular ones, just a handful of greater ones, and one superior one.
Yeah, Wolfen took the.
Superior and a greater. Yeah. I went through 7 healing potions.
He's the front line. I mean, I guess
I am spent.
All out of lots of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so why don't we go ahead and cut it there, and then we'll come back.
On the hour?
Let's come back on the hour, yeah, and then we can look at divvying up, and then see if we're going to rest or go further into this next door or what's happening.
Okay.